5 surprising things men find beautiful in a woman. In this video, you will discover some of the character traits you may not expect that men find absolutely attractive and mesmerizing inside of yourself, and you stop wasting your time focusing on surface elements that actually don't really make the difference. Hey, I'm Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man method, and this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man that you want, desires, and pursues you forever. Now, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell button as well for more juicy videos coming your way. So let's go ahead and dive right into the 5 surprising things that men find beautiful in a woman. Number 5, she has a unique essence. And let me actually tell you a story, because it's really about expression. Who are you really? Are you willing to be different? Are you willing to shine your unique light? Right? So, for example, when my husband met me, he knows I like to do all those funny dances. Okay. I call them like the fish dance and the happy hippo dance. And we have all those like funny names for it. But it's just goofy. It's just me. And I had to overcome the story that it's undesirable, that it's silly, that it's too much, that it's embarrassing, because that's what my mom actually instilled inside of me. You see, when I was starting to dance and express myself and sing and jump and skip, she'd be always, "Oh, Antje, seriously?" So if you find yourself having a little bit of a harder time expressing your unique essence, it may be because one of your parents was highly judgmental and criticizing about this. Now, of course, this is actually really important. So it's really understanding how to overcome that as well. Now, number 4 is calling yourself out. So you see, I'm actually going to talk about techniques and qualities here that are rather counterintuitive. Okay? Because normally we say, okay, so if we fit in, if you don't rock the boat, if we're not too weird, too bright, too bold, that's what men find beautiful. That's actually not true. The more masculine a man is, the more he wants to be moved. How do you move? By doing something different. So calling yourself out is definitely doing something different, because what men are used to is women trying to put themselves in the right light. And of course, they had their own experiences, maybe with their mom, maybe with their sister, maybe with their aunt, right? But it was always about like just kind of like maybe finding excuses or things like that. But just kind of like, not really like holding back a little bit, not sharing everything. So if out of the sudden you are actually calling yourself out on something you wanted to do, for example, I wanted to manipulate my husband within a couple months of dating him. And I had this agreement with myself that what I think, what I say, and what I do has to be in alignment. So it's like, oh, Houston, we're in trouble now, because now I think I need to tell him that in order to stay in integrity and to foster authenticity and transparency in our relationship. And so that's exactly what I did. So I invite you to like really think about what that is for you. How can you call yourself out where you're trying to look good, impress the other person, instead of saying, hey, you know what? Like, I'm just calling myself out right now. I really find myself wanting to impress you. I really find myself being attracted to you. I'm really finding myself wondering what else I can do. So you can actually just like really think about what it looks like. And let me clarify, because I know already the comments that are going to be coming. I'm not talking about when you're dating an abusive, manipulative, narcissistic man. I'm talking, if you're actually talking to a nice man, a grounded man, a consistent man, but you just have like this power game going on, And, maybe even you don't really trust yourself with your power to begin with. So, really powerful because you actually learn to trust yourself even more. Now, of course, if you like this content, then give it a thumbs up, share it with your girlfriends, and because sharing is caring, and subscribe for more great videos coming your way. And of course, discuss it with your girlfriends too. Just actually decipher, hey, how would you do that? How would you call yourself out? All right, number 3, also something that not really anyone's talking about is balancing your archetypes. So, we have 6 different parts inside of ourselves. We have the queen, we have the little girl, we have the wild woman, the warrioress. We have lots of different archetypes. We have the lover, right? We have all those different archetypes. And so what happens is usually we're presenting ourselves with maybe 2 of those archetypes. Usually we're presenting ourselves, especially the successful women that come to me, that are the alpha females in their lives, the alpha bosses, so to say. So first of all, are leading with the warrioress. Yeah, and then maybe there's like a little bit wild woman with that. And wild woman is all about being like powerful, being visceral, right? It's also intimidating as well. And what you want to do, what men really love, is of course experiencing the plethora, right? The variety, the different shades of your personality. Why is that? Well, for one, it provides variety, which is one of the human needs. But also, it actually helps him to discover a little bit more what's going on inside of himself. Like, what are his archetypes? Which parts does he like? He gets to explore different dynamics with you. And ultimately, it causes a what? A state change inside of his nervous system. You see, we do so many things to change our state all the time. We watch a movie, we eat ice cream, we get on the phone with a friend, we do all kinds, we eat, we drink, sex, all the things lead to a state change. So if you can provide a state change to a man, you are way ahead of the curve. He'll have such a positive association with having dates with you. And honestly, you're going to feel so much more authentic with yourself because you don't feel like, oh, well, he probably doesn't like all of me. If he gets to really know me, then he's going to find out, if he's going to find out my little girl, then he's not going to like that. If he finds out that I actually have insecurities inside of myself, all those concerns will be no longer concerns for you because, like I said already, you're already like expressing all of it. So there's nothing to hide. And then also nobody can really call you out on anything because like, yeah, I know. Thanks for noticing. I already led with that. And there's also a much higher likelihood that he's going to show all of himself. Number 2 is what men really find beautiful in a woman is when she doesn't gossip. So we women, and it's a little tough because evolutionary speaking, we women were actually bonding through gossiping. Yeah, and so we're actually like creating this energy together when we were gossiping about the other person. There was a sense of belonging to a clan or community, which of course makes you feel safe, especially when we're talking evolutionary speaking. You wanted to belong to a clan or community because otherwise, if you were by yourself, you were most likely killed. You were most likely eaten by like, for example, yeah, also animals for sure. And so it's really important. And so to understand, like, okay, wait a minute. But men don't really like when you gossip because they actually, for one, they don't really care. For two, they're like, wait a minute. There's like a lack of trust that occurs when you gossip because they're thinking, well, if she talks about that, about this person with me, then how's she going to talk about myself with her girlfriends, right? So there's going to be like this loss of integrity. It's actually called the queen integrity that he's going to feel, particularly his king is going to feel that. And it's going to feel like really out of alignment. It's really going to feel like like a turn off. So what he finds beautiful is if you're not gossiping at all and instead actually enjoying being in the moment with him, right? You're not talking about other people, period, would be even better. So that's like a big piece. It's actually like, how much can you focus just on you guys together versus with like without even mentioning another person. And I know for some of you that's a real challenge because you are so other focused. In other words, your nervous system feels so much safer when you come from a place of yourself and moving it onto another person, projecting it onto another person. It just feels really safe for your nervous system. However, it's not going to serve you when it comes to attracting the right man. Now, you want to find out more about this, also be part of a juicy, yummy community, then join our free Facebook group at mymfbgroup.com and join the party. We have so much fun there. You get all your questions answered, and you can ask other women too. What do you think? What are you doing? And finally, drum roll, number 1, believe it or not, it goes a little bit along with number 2, which is he loves you when you're being selfish. Now, I know what you want to say. Wait a minute. My mom taught me to be kind, to be compassionate, to put the other person first. And he's actually not really buying into that, right? He actually is going to lose respect for you. Because if you are focused on the other person only, you become very accommodating. When we are accommodating, what starts to happen, this unique flavor we have, you can call it sort of like the edginess that we have, little spikes. Not necessarily like intimidating spikes, but just little spikes where we're holding our own. We're holding our own frame. We're holding our own boundaries. All of that is starting to kind of melt. So imagine just everything becomes like one. It just all melts together. It all just becomes this round ball and it's just really bland, right? But when you stay selfish, and I'm really talking about a healthy level of selfishness, of self-centeredness, self-rotation, then actually the boundaries stay alive and it creates a tension that's very juicy in a relationship that makes him really be magnetized and attracted to you like nobody's business, because he can sense that you're not willing to sell out your truth, your voice, your integrity in order to be liked by him or in order to be accepted by him or be validated by him, but rather that you can validate yourself. Yes, I mean, that is just really powerful because he can really see, wow, she can actually fortify herself, right? And then, of course, he wants to be part of that party as well. And of course, like for those of you who stayed until the very end, here is my bonus secret, which is mindfulness. You know, mindfulness really means that you are able to reflect. You're able to take a step back. You also think about the future. You're really mindful with life. You take in the fullness. You take in different perspectives, different angles, different point of views, which of course keeps you very curious. But it also keeps you very growth oriented. You're willing to look inside instead of just looking out, blaming everyone else. That is extremely attractive because it really shows that you have confidence and you don't have to prove anything to anyone. So mindfulness is one of the things that a man looks really looking forward to. And of course, if you haven't done so already, take my free quiz to attract the right man for you or to see where you're at on that journey. mymquiz.com is your ticket to win, so to say. And I'm super excited to chat with you next time. And if you haven't done so already, watch next. When a man deeply loves you, he will start saying these 5 things. Ladies, this is it for today. Much love to you, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.